This is the PickBits daily signal for Tuesday, July 7th, your signal in the day's tech noise. Here's the lineup. 1. A hacking group got into Medtronic's network, and 3.8 million patients just found out what that cost them. 2. The FCC finally closed a loophole on Chinese telecom gear that's been sitting open since 2022. 3. 100 authors just turned down Anthropic's record settlement, betting they can win more suing alone. And 4. On the brighter side, California's AI-watched wildfire cameras beat more than half of last year's 911 calls to the punch. Let's get into it. This is the PickBits Daily Signal. Story 1. Medtronic makes the pacemakers, insulin pumps, and neurological implants that millions of people depend on just to keep functioning day to day. In April, a hacking group broke into Medtronic's corporate network and threatened to publish 9 million patient records unless the company paid up. Medtronic refused, and for 2 months, nothing about it became public.
Moving on to our next story. Medtronic. The pacemaker people are now notifying customers that their personal data ended up in the hands of shiny hunters. But let's not go all torches and pitchforks on Medtronic just.
The number Medtronic finally landed on is 3.8 million people, and the data taken is real. Names, birth dates, social security numbers, and health information tied to their device use. The company says there's no evidence any of it has surfaced online yet, and that the breach never touched how a device itself operates. A pacemaker built to survive inside a human body for a decade gets engineered obsessively. The database sitting next to it, holding your social security number and your diagnosis, ended up in the hands of an extortion crew instead. Medtronic is offering 2 years of free credit and dark web monitoring, the standard playbook by now. If you or anyone you know runs a Medtronic device, that notification letter in the mail is real, not spam. So enroll in the monitoring even if nothing of yours has shown up anywhere. Freeze your credit with all 3 bureaus while you're at it, and share this with the people in your life who actually carry one of these devices, because 5 minutes now beats finding out the hard way later. Story 2. Since 2022, the FCC has blocked brand new Huawei, ZTE, and other Chinese-made networking gear from getting approved for U.S. networks, citing national security reasons.
Huawei and ZTE users in the U.S.
The ban would not impact current Huawei and ZTE users because the ban is focused on the new installation of equipment.
That's the gap that sat open for 4 years, until June 26 this year, when the FCC voted to close it for good. Routers, cell-based stations, and video surveillance systems from Huawei, ZTE, Hikvision, Dahua, and Hytera are now banned outright, no matter how old the model is, starting next month. Nobody has to rip out what's already plugged in and running. For 4 years, the loophole was the whole ban. Anyone could keep installing older Huawei or ZTE gear as long as the model itself had been approved before 2022. The agency's own language now calls that legacy gear an ongoing risk to national security, which means equipment that was fine to import last month is flagged as dangerous this month, just not urgent enough to force out today. If you manage IT or network infrastructure for a business, a school, or a local government office, audit your gear for pre-2022 Huawei, ZTE, Hikvision, Dahua, or Hytera hardware, because the FCC just told you in writing that it's a live risk. Share this with whoever runs that infrastructure where you work, because most people are still assuming the 2022 ban already covered it. Story 3. A federal judge already ruled that Anthropic pirated more than 7 million digitized books to build Claude, and last year, the company agreed to pay $1.5 billion to settle the claims against it, the largest copyright settlement in American history. Getting caught didn't cost Anthropic its business. It cost about $3,000 a title, paid out to roughly 500,000 eligible authors starting last month.
It's the largest copyright settlement in American history. The AI company Anthropic forced to pay out a whopping $1.5 billion after a judge said it illegally pirated more than 7 million digitized books to train its AI model.
100 of those same authors looked at that number and said not enough. Novelists, including Nolan Bushnell and Laura Esquivel, opted out of the class settlement entirely, and they're now suing Anthropic individually in federal court in California. seeking up to $150,000 for each book, more than $75 million total. Their claim is sharper than the original case too. They say Anthropic didn't just train on pirated copies, it downloaded them over BitTorrent and redistributed pieces to other users in the process, which courts treat very differently than quietly reading a file. Anthropic hasn't responded publicly. If you write or hold rights to books, search whether your titles are in the BART's settlement class list, because opting out for a shot at a bigger number is now a real, live legal strategy with its own case law forming in real time. Follow this one, because how a court values BitTorrent piracy against a class settlement check is going to set the price every AI company pays for its next dataset. Story 4, and on the brighter side, AI pointed at wildfires isn't a lab demo anymore, it's already running on mountaintops across the West.
Catastrophic wildfire. AI is now being used to help spot wildfires before humans can. Here you can see smoke rising in the distance. This wildfire was captured by a camera using artificial intelligence without the help of a human eye.
California specifically, the system is called Alert California, built by UC San Diego and geologist Neil Driscoll. And it's more than 1,200 high-definition cameras feeding real-time alerts to all 21 of the state's emergency command centers. Last year alone, the network flagged about 3,600 wildfire incidents to CAL FIRE, and in more than half of those cases, the alert went out before a single person picked up the phone to call 911. 3 real fire seasons of data back up that number, going back to when the AI detection got added in 2023. Driscoll's own line on it, they can fight a fire in the incipient phase before it gets too large, because the minutes an AI saves are the same minutes a firefighter used to spend just finding out where to go. The program took 9 years to reach this scale, from the camera network's start in 2017 to today, funded by the state, the U.S. Geological Survey, utilities, and CAL FIRE together. If you live somewhere fire-prone in California, look up the Alert California camera map and see if your area is covered. And if you manage emergency response anywhere else that deals with wildfire or disaster risk, share this with them. State government, federal science agency, and utility money together is a funding model worth copying, not just admiring. That wildfire camera network is the one I want you carrying into tomorrow. The same pattern-matching AI that breached Medtronic's network and picked through pirated books is also the reason a family in California got a warning before they ever smelled smoke. That's the signal. I'll see you tomorrow.